Well, just this morning as I came in here, Brother Simon, who was just up here, made a suggestion. He says, tell them that story that you mentioned a long time ago. I wasn't going to, but at his suggestion, I will. It's a children's story that I read a long time ago. And it goes like this. After the Last Supper, Jesus went out to the Garden of Gethsemane, as he often did. And all the animals in the garden were used to seeing Jesus, because Jesus had been coming up there for years, and they all loved Jesus. And when they saw Jesus coming, they all got excited. Oh, he's coming back, he's coming back, he's coming back. So all the animals started to gather around, and they're all excited, and they spread the word, and they gathered. Then when Jesus came, they all were there waiting for him. But this night was different. They saw that Jesus was different. They saw that Jesus looked worried, anxious, afraid. And they saw Jesus sweating. And they saw blood coming out of his pores. And these animals knew that something was wrong. They knew that Jesus was in danger. So the animals started to talk and say, we have to defend, we have to protect Jesus. He's such a wonderful guy, he's been so kind. We have to protect him. And so the big bear says, if anybody comes near Jesus, with my big claws, I'll shred them to pieces. And the big elk with the big horn says, if anybody comes near him, I'll scoop them up and I'll toss them away. And the wolf says, with his big teeth and his fangs, if anybody tries to attack Jesus, I'll bite them and I'll rip them to shreds. And the hawk says, if they come near him with my talons, I'll lift and I'll tear them apart, and they won't be able to get to Jesus. And like, yes, we will defend Jesus to the death, and we will never betray him, and we'll stay here even if we have to die for him. So all these animals were gathered around, ready to protect Jesus, the blood pumping through their veins, knowing that this was a serious, serious moment. Then animals able to hear and sense things more than human beings realized that something was coming. People were coming. A band was coming, and there was a lot of them. And they heard the clanging of the swords, of the spears, of the armor, and they knew that there were many of them. And they saw the flames of the torches. And the first one, the bear, says, oh, there's a lot of them. Oh, they have torches. And I'm furry. Well, it's probably best if I leave, because the torches might catch me on fire, and there might be more trouble for Jesus, so I'll just leave. Beep, 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 beep. He leaves. And then the big elk, seeing the crowd with the swords and the spears, says, ooh, those spears are very long and very pointy. And I'm so big that they could easily get me. It's better if I leave. It'll be safer for Jesus. Beep, beep, beep. He leaves. The wolf said, well, I make a lot of noise when I move around, and if I move around, they'll know where Jesus is, so maybe I better leave now before the crowd gets here so Jesus can be safe. And he leaves. And then the eagle says the same thing. Well, if I flutter my wings, it'll be a big scene and everyone will know I'm here, so I better leave now. So he leaves too. And all one by one, as the crowd, the group, the band, the mob is coming closer to Jesus with their spears and their swords and all their weapons and the torches, everyone disappears except one. One small, little, furry black thing. And Jesus looks at him and says, everyone is gone, aren't they? He says, yes, Jesus, they've all left, but I'm here. And I'm not going to leave. And Jesus says, no, you can leave too. And this little furry guy goes, no, Jesus, I'm going to stay right with you until the end. At least there'll be two of us. And Jesus says, no, I have to face this alone. I need to face this. I want to face this. You must go. And this little furry guy can't do anything against anybody, realizing that Jesus is serious and this is what he wants. He turns to walk away. And as he walks away, his back rubs against the bottom of Jesus' cloak, and it leaves a white mark down his back. And this is the story how the skunk got his white stripe. The skunk, the smelly, stinky skunk, is the only one that stayed. How many times we run away from Jesus, and how many ways that we run away from Jesus, and how many beautiful and interesting and rationalized excuses we make to run away from the cross. This Holy Week, I invite all of you to look seriously, honestly, humbly into the depths of your heart. How many ways are you running away from the cross? Are you avoiding the cross of Jesus? I'm sure there's a lot of good reasons. In my own heart, there's tons of beautiful, well-rationalized, well-thought-out reasons from running away from the cross. But look to the example of Jesus. Let him be your inspiration. Let him be your guide.